July 2nd, 2015 Daviess County Fiscal Court meeting to order. Commissioner Castlen, would you lead us in the prayer and the pledge?
I will, sir. Dear Heavenly Father, we pause for a moment to thank you for the many blessings you bestowed upon us as a community and as a state and as a nation. We ask you to send your Holy Spirit to be with us and guide us as we do the work of the county this evening. We pause for a moment, dear Heavenly Father, to ask you to send your holy angels to be with those who grieve the loss of loved ones, especially the Riney family, as we remember Commissioner Mike Riney, who served up here in our place years past. We ask you to bless them and console them. Not only them, but all those who have lost loved ones. We pray these things in the name of Jesus, our Lord and Savior. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner. Once again, I believe that you're trying to take over for Sheriff Keith Kane in your prayer.
Well, I've told him that if he ever quits sheriffing and he starts preaching, I'll probably be in one of his pews.
I start to say you certainly won't be sheriff, I hope.
No.
Okay, are we ready?
Yes. First on the agenda, consideration for presentation, A, Treasurer's Report for May 2015.
Mr. Hendricks.
Cash balance at May 31st is $28,390,518. General fund is $12,452,341. Cash balances and all funds are within the range we anticipated. I have no further comments.
Commissioners, any question or comment? This is just a presentation. We don't need a motion or a second. It's on file in our records, and if anyone happens to have a question in the future, you're quite welcome to ask Commissioner or Treasurer Jim Hendricks. Next item.
Consideration for approval, A, minutes of the June 16th, 2015 court meeting.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion second. Commissioners, you had a copy of the minutes in your packet for some time. Are there any additions, deletions, or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
B, all claims for all departments.
Motion approved.
Second.
I have a motion second. Commissioners, you had a copy of all the bills due and payable by Daviess County Fiscal Court in your possession. Do you have any questions of the treasurer at this time? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
C, resolution number 11, 2015, federal procurement policy and the legally binding agreement relating to the Owensboro Regional Recovery 2015-2016 CDBG.
Move to approve. Second.
I have a motion second. Mr. Hendricks.
Yes, Judge. As you know, the court has received the CDBG grant for ORR for several years in a row. Grant administers the program. This document's a required resolution. Anytime you have federal funds, especially under a community development block grant, you've got to file this resolution, that you have a procurement policy. The Fed's just trying to ensure that the funds are used appropriately under their guidelines. I'll recommend approval.
Question or comment by the commission? Question or comment by the public? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
D, Masonville CDBG Project 14-046 Procurement Code, Masonville Cost Overrun Resolution number 12, 2015, Professional Service
Yes, go ahead.
Professional Service Resolution number 13, 2015, Masonville Contract for Professional Services Part 1 and Part 2, Resolution number 14, 2015, and agreement approving cooperation between Daviess County Fiscal Court and Regional Water Resource Agency relating to the implementation of the Community Development Block Grant Public Facilities Program.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion second. Mr. Hendricks.
I believe it was last court when the court approved pursuing the Masonville Water Project grant or sewer grant. It is a CDBG, so therefore we're under the federal guidelines. Again, all of these documents, as GRAD is going to administer, and RWRA will be doing the work and the bids with the construction vendors. Again, we all fall under very strict guidelines. I attended a meeting with all parties where the state explained it in detail so that everyone understands the requirements. GRAD has done a number of these, so they fully understand. RWRA has also done a number of these, so I believe that all parties do understand what is required. And for the court, this contains the resolutions and the professional contract agreements that are required for us to do the CDBG grant. I would recommend approval.
Question or comment by the commission? Question or comment by the public? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
E, expanded jurisdiction agreement and authorization for the judge executive to sign said agreement.
Move to approve. Second.
I have a motion second. Commissioners, this is an agreement between Daviess County Fiscal Court, City of Owensboro, OMPC, with the Department of Housing, Building, and Construction. It allows us to use our local building codes enforcement people to enforce the residential building code, HVAC code, electrical code. We actually review plans locally. If you looked on page 3, the things that we do not do would have to do with institutional buildings, facilities required to be licensed by Cabinet for Health and Family Services, state-owned or state-leased buildings. All those things actually come through the Department of Housing, Building, and Construction. This is just giving me permission to sign an agreement that we have executed in the past with the Department of Housing, Building, and Construction. Any question or comment? Question or comment by the public? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
F, purchase a skag mower and a Land Pride finishing mower for the Parks Department.
Move to approve. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Jordan, are you gonna do this, or you want me to let this Parks Director try to plead his case? Parks Director.
Judge, I present to you a request to purchase 2 pieces of equipment. First is the 72-inch Skag riding lawnmower, 0-turn, to replace a lawnmower at Panther Creek Park. The second is a Land Pride 168-inch pull-behind finish mower that would be used at the parks as well. That gives us essentially on the Land Pride finish mower 3 of those. We could essentially have 1 per facility between Horse Fork, Panther Creek, and Yellow Creek Park. We have received 3 quotes and does require the court's permission to purchase. I'd be happy to entertain any questions.
You're recommending the one from Hagan for the first piece of equipment at $10,375?
Yes, sir.
Is that correct? The second piece from Hagan at $13,450?
Yes, sir.
Is that correct? So the fact that each of them are under $20,000 means that we just get quotes. We do not have to do formal bidding. Question, first of all, do you have more lawn mowers and pull behinds and things than anybody else?
Probably.
That's what I thought. Question or comment by the commission?
He should have said he has more acreage as well.
Well, we didn't hire him for his smarts. We just hired him to direct our parks.
For my looks, Judge.
I don't think that was part of the deal either. Any other question or comment? Question or comment for the public? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Thank you. You know you've got to talk to us at the end, so you can't leave.
G, bond release for Woodland Ridge, Unit Number 4, Streets.
Motion approved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Mr. Brasher.
Yes, Judge. The developer has requested through his engineer for the release of surety for the asphalt surface in Woodland Ridge subdivision, Unit Number 4. That work has been completed. It has been inspected by my office and approved. I recommend the request for release.
Question or comment by the commission? Question or comment by the public? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
H, reject bid number 5, 2015, new full-size pickup truck.
Move to approve. Second.
I have a motion second. Mr. Johnson.
Yes, Judge. In December of last year, we bid a replacement vehicle for the Animal Control Department. Bid number 5, 2015, a new pickup truck. The vendor had stated there would be an estimated delivery date of 2 months. After 6 months lapse, they have given an indefinite date and have requested contract termination. This is a formal rejection of that bid so that we may rebid it in an item lower on the agenda.
Are there
Yes.
any repercussions for that, for them?
Other than formal rejection, no.
We don't require any performance bond from these folks when we do these kinds of things.
Not for purchase.
Okay. Any other question or comment? Question or comment for the public? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
I advertise for the following bids. Bid number 30, 2015, HVAC services and maintenance for the courthouse, judicial center, and operations center.
Motion approved.
Let's just take them all.
Wanna take them all?
Yeah, let's go
Yeah.
down and take them all as one item.
Okay, bid number 31, 2015, two new 2015-16 full-size pickup trucks, animal control. Bid number 32, 2015, one new 2015-16 crew cab truck, EMA. Bid number 33, 2015, one power screen, landfill. Bid number 34, 2015, one new excavator, landfill. Bid number 35, 2015, one new or used 3/4 ton pickup with utility bed, transfer station. Bid number 36, 2015, one new tandem dump truck, road.
Motion approved.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Mr. Johnson.
Yes, Judge, I will visit all of these items quickly, starting with bid number 30, 2015, HVAC service and maintenance for the courthouse, judicial center, and operations center. The county had contracted with a local company known as the IBAC Group. Halfway through the contract year, the IBAC Group was bought by Hasung Mechanical Contractors. Hasung decided that they would honor our contract for the rest of the period. This is a bid to put out locally for these services and to refresh our service rates. Moving down to bid number 31, 2015, for two new 2015-16 full-size pickup trucks for animal control. The original idea was to bid a vehicle last fiscal year for animal control, which was bid number 5, which we just formally rejected, and one for this fiscal year. Those have been combined into one bid. They will be replacing a 2003 Chevrolet S10 and a 2008 Ford Ranger. Moving down to bid number 32, 2015, for one new 2015-16 crew cab truck for EMA. This will replace a 2005 Ford F-250 Task Force vehicle. This was originally donated to the Fiscal Court by the Department of Homeland Security. Moving down to bid number 33, 2015, one new power screen for the landfill. This is a planned and budgeted replacement of a 2001 trommel screen. Bid number 34, 2015, one new excavator for the landfill. This is a planned and budgeted replacement for a 2004 Volvo excavator. Bid number 35, 2015, one new or used 3/4 ton pickup with utility bed. This is a planned and budgeted replacement for a 1994 F-250 for the transfer station. And bid number 36, 2015, one new tandem dump truck for the road department. This is a planned and budgeted replacement for a 1999 International dump truck.
Question or comment by the commission? This is only permission to advertise. Hopefully within the next month, we'll have these bids back and we can make a determination. All these items were budgeted in the new 15-16 budget, correct?
That is correct.
And you know, Ross, I failed to ask you if those things you wanted us to approve. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that you weren't slipping one on us. We've had comment. Now we want all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. You're supposed to say no, Judge. You haven't called for a vote yet. Go ahead.
Consideration for appointment, Joe Elliott to the Southeast Water District Board, term 6/1/2015 to 6/1/2019.
Motion approved.
Second.
I have a motion second. Commissioners, Joe Elliott serves on the Southeast Water District. That encompasses the East District and part of the Central District. I talked to Commissioner Castlen and Commissioner Koger, and they concurred that Joe had done a good job for us in the past, and they thought he would do a good job going forward, so we are going to reappoint him. Any question or comment?
No other than to echo that I do believe he has done an excellent job.
Okay. Okay, there being no other comment, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Number 4, ordinances. A, first reading of KOC 530.13, 2015. An ordinance amending KOC 530.13, 2011. An ordinance establishing official speed limits for roads located within Daviess County, Kentucky.
Commissioners, this is a first reading. County Engineer, you want to tell us what we're doing?
Yes, sir. In 2011, we came up and established an ordinance that addressed all county roads and speed limits. There was 2 main sections to that ordinance. You will see on page 2, speed limits. The first section, Section A, is the statutory speed limits. If they fit, the roads fit a certain characteristic, they would be statutorily the speed limits. Those are 15 for alleys, 25 miles per hour for internal subdivision streets, 35 miles per hour in a business or residential district, and 55 miles per hour on all other county roads. Section B is the changes. At that time, in 2011, there had been over 10 ordinances passed that addressed other county roads. For the majority of those ordinances, they were covered by Section A. They were statutory. They were subdivision roads, so they were 25, and that's what those ordinances passed indicated. For these 6 at that time, I had not reviewed them, so we incorporated these 6 roads into the ordinance in 2011. At this time, I have looked at 4 of the 6, and the changes are as you see, to strike them out of this Section B. I can go through each one if you would like. Calumet Trace from Pleasant Valley Road to Fairview Drive, that fits the requirement of Section A, the statutory. It's an internal subdivision street, so it'd be 25, so it's redundant. Cecil Road, that is a very rural county road, asphalt sections on both ends with gravel in between. This is right next to the old West Louisville School that is now closed. I believe, I don't know for sure, but the indication is that it was dropped due to the school, pedestrians, the traffic coming in and out of the back parking lot. At this point, there's 3 houses on this road in total, one closer to Kentucky 56 in that asphalt section, 2 on the other section next to Berry Road. You can reasonably go faster than 25. So I'm recommending that we pull Cecil Road as a 25 mile per hour speed limit and remove it from Section B. Fisher Road, beginning point
Where would Cecil Road now fall?
It would fall
under statutory.
It would fall statutorily under the 55, but that is an upper limit. We're not encouraging anyone to drive 55 particularly. There's a nice size hill, and there's also gravel road.
And I think people forget that when you have a speed limit there, that's the max. That's not telling you that's how fast you need to go. That's the max. Just as when you have a 55 mile an hour speed limit on the road covered with an inch of ice,
That's right.
we're not suggesting it's the conditions that.
A significant amount of state highways are 55. We would not encourage you to drive through curves going 55.
Okay.
You need to drive the appropriate speed for the appropriate condition. You can go over 25. I drove it today. I felt comfortable going over 40. When you put up a speed limit sign, you also sometimes, like you just said, encourage them to go that speed limit.
Right.
So I don't know that we want to encourage anyone to go 25, 35, or 45, particularly in the rock section. So on this road, and there are a few others, the public needs to drive the appropriate speed for their vehicle at that time of the year for those conditions. The next one is Fisher Road, beginning 0.15 miles from Highway 81 and ending at Carter Road. That was a 45 mile per hour speed limit. I actually had a radar speed study done. That is the national standards for establishing speed limits for roads.
In other words, if somebody asked you about a road, you would do a study like
Absolutely.
that before you would make a determination.
Absolutely.
Okay.
The 85th percentile, which is what is the national standards for speed limits. The 85th percentile speed on Fisher Road was over 50 miles per hour. So I recommend that it would be following the statutory 50 mile per hour speed zone also. Pleasant Valley Road, between Thurston Dermont Road and Reed Road. Not exactly sure why that was made a 35. The vast majority of that road is farm, agricultural. There are some houses along Pleasant Valley that are well off the road with plenty of sight distance for the majority of them. I would recommend that being pulled also, which would make it a statutory 55. I have not got to look at Keller Road or Sire Lane at this point, so once I look at them, if something needs to be changed, I will bring it back to fiscal court with a recommendation.
Question or comment by the commission? Question or comment by the public? Okay, we'll have second reading at the next fiscal court meeting, and we'll go from there. Next item.
B, second reading of KOC 630.1, 2015, an ordinance establishing water quality and quantity policies relating to stormwater runoff.
Move to approve. Second.
I have a motion and second. Commissioners, any question, or first, Mark, do you want to explain this one to us?
This is just a cleaning up of some verbiage. I believe this was originally passed in 2013. Is that? I believe it was in 13, Claude. We've used it for over a year at this point. There are some minor tweaking of verbiage to make it, I think, clear.
Does not change the intention of the ordinance.
No, it does not change the intention of the ordinance. I think it makes it clear for me and for the citizens of expectations and how the county can react to situations.
Okay. Question or comment? Yes, sir.
Just one question. When I was reading through this, and this is not a change, but I just was curious as to why it's even in there. Fee in lieu on page 2 on the definitions.
Yes, sir.
The way I read that is if somebody doesn't want to do this, they can just pay a fee.
And what page was that? I'm
Page
sorry.
2.
Page 2.
Second page.
Yes, sir.
Middle of the page.
That is in regards to Chapter 14 of the Public Improvement Specifications, which requires water quality because of Phase 2. And you're familiar with that, stormwater regulations that we are required by the Division of Water to address, and they are required by federal EPA to address. If someone is developing, and this is mainly in there because of the city of Owensboro and their situations. We want to pass similar ordinances, but in, we'll say, downtown, where there is not a lot of room for them to do the water quality aspects of a project, they can potentially pay money. An equivalent amount of money for, instead of a retention basin or bioswales where there's just not physical room to do, they can pay money to the city of Owensboro where the city can maybe use that money at a different location for water quality projects.
Okay.
We have not done that in the county. Obviously, we haven't done a lot of water quality projects yet in the county.
Okay. Thank you.
Mark, you do have a definition in there of maintenance agreements, and I know that you have had some issues or calls from some of our subdivisions, some of the businesses in the county that were not maintaining the detention or retention basins. That kind of tells you what they should be doing, and then it gives us a remedy if they do not. But I would, from my understanding, most of the time when you notify those folks, they take care of those issues and with notification, correct?
I've had great cooperation,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Any other questions, commissioners? Question or comment by the public? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
5, consideration for discussion. A, other business to be brought before the Daviess County Fiscal Court.
Do we have any?
No, sir, we do not.
Okay, next item.
B, public comments.
This is a time during a meeting in which we ask the public to come forward, identify themselves at the podium with your name and address, and you're welcome to talk about any item other than what was on the agenda. Yes, sir.
I'm Samuel P. Sire. I reside at 8104 Sire Lane.
Okay.
We have a problem with some trees on Sire Lane. There are 5 trees that's squarely on county right-of-way. 2 of them are completely dead. The other 3 in the process of dying.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see what the fiscal court could help me do with these, because in April, a large limb fell in the highway. And I'd had to take my tractor and loader and pick up 2 loader buckets full of car parts and dispose them in my dumpster. And it's a hazard.
County engineer, do you have that address?
It was 8104 Sire Lane, correct?
Yes, sir.
And
Okay.
that's where these trees are located?
Yes, sir.
I can
Okay.
take a look at that.
We'll have the county engineer come out there and take a look at it,
Okay, thank you.
okay? I'm sorry. Sir, what was your last name? Sour. He lives on Sour Lane, imagine that. Thank. Okay, most of us can say that. Any other Mr. Public, you moved to the end of any other public comment? No, I'm gonna ask him to do something here in a minute. Okay, well, he's gonna be at the end this time, because he's gonna do a little report. Come ahead. Yep.
Larry Conder, and the reason, or at least I could probably say it's Mr. Rosemary Conder with this comment, but it has to do with ROMP and what was done out at Yellow Creek Park this past week. The work that the Parks Department did, that's why I wouldn't go after him, to pat him on the back after he told you what all happens out there, but did a fantastic job. It truly did. With all the rain that happened, the people, the amount of people, and how that was handled, the Sheriff's Department did an awesome job. If I understand right, there were maybe only 2 or 3 altercations out of 25,000 people. Pretty good deal. I mean, it really was self-controlled very well. And the name and the show, the face that ROMP put on Daviess County and Owensboro was absolutely awesome. The festival has become and will become one of the top 5 in the state. And it's all because this court, these people that work so hard, the Sheriff's Department, everyone make it that way, plus the Bluegrass Music Centers, their employees, all of the artists, they truly, truly enjoyed it. Over 60% of the people that were there probably weren't even from this state. You had that many people that came in to see what Owensboro and Daviess County is all about. It truly was fantastic, and it's grown exponentially. Still needs some tweaking that needs to be done. It needs to happen. I'm sure everybody knows some of those issues. But still, thank you very much. An awesome week, an awesome thing you guys did. So I thank you on behalf of them. Don't want to speak for them, but thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
You get to come up in a little, not yet. Any other public comment? Okay, Ross, you come up and tell us about ROMP.
Judge, I have heard you say during your term as judge executive that we only get one opportunity to make a first impression.
Right.
And let me assure you, during the course of the 110 hours that ROMP was at Yellow Creek Park, we made one hell of a first impression. There were multiple countries represented, as well as 34 states. With 36 acts and 57 hours of music, Yellow Creek Park hosted a little over 25,000 people, which is an increase of over 21% from years past. Starting at 8 o'clock on Wednesday morning through 11 p.m. Sunday night, which was 110 hours, we hosted about 3,500 individual campers and saw what a parks department and what a facility like Yellow Creek Park means to a community like Daviess County. Through the cooperative effort and working with the road department, and appreciate the support that Mark and his staff helped us with on Saturday morning, we were able to make a wonderful impression amongst all those individuals that attended. Monitoring social media is probably one of the greatest insights we have as to the success of this event. And to be able to understand and to listen to parents talk about how they're comfortable enough to be able to allow their children to be able to run throughout that park and to be able to enjoy the amenities that it provides during the course of this activity really is a humbling honor to be able to know what kind of a festival we're providing. Much of the musicians that attend this event have said that for all musicians, ROMP is on their bucket list to be able to play at during the course of their professional careers. And again, that speaks to the event that we host at that park. We do have, the good news is, the ability to accommodate additional individuals. We don't have an unlimited ability, but I do calculate at least another 20 acres between our ball diamonds and the property at Thruston to be able to accommodate for probably another, probably 1,000 cars, maybe 1,200 cars, and additional 5,000 or 6,000 people to be able to be at the event. Then we max out. That's the question. How far do we want to go? And it's not necessarily a question that we're capable of answering, because obviously the crowd size is driven by the acts that the museum books to be able to attend the event. And those big events, big acts, do cost a lot of money. So they have a decision in and amongst themselves to be able to make. I have received a request from Chris Love, who is a co-chair of the event, for dates in 2016. And so we are already actively working on that. Several members of the staff at the museum are currently on vacation, as I will be, but I'll assure you as soon as we get back in town that there will be a meeting to be able to start that planning process. Again, very proud of the staff at the parks and those that were able to support this community through, again, the Sheriff's Department as well as our Public Works Department. It was a very successful event, and I'd be happy to entertain any questions.
Well, Ross, I just want to take the opportunity to thank you and your staff, and Mark, your staff, all the folks in Daviess County for the hard work. I was able to get out there on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Was unable to be there Saturday. I know the people that I met and talked to, they were all having a good time. Some of them were not happy with some of the changes that we made and couldn't understand why, but as I told them, over the 5 years that we have been here, we have learned from our successes and failures.
That's right.
That's how events grow, and that's how events become fun for everybody. I know not everybody, and again, I'll repeat what I said Monday, not everybody was happy. I had a call from someone that lived in that area, and they didn't like the music or the loud noise. They didn't like the fact that they couldn't come into the park and walk the trails. It's a public park, but just as the public shelters, picnic shelters, are leased out to individuals, sometimes we do that. And I think the best thing that I can tell you is that ROMP is the opportunity for Owensboro and Daviess County to shine on not just a local stage, not just the state stage or the United States stage, but the world stage. Because you're exactly right. The world loves bluegrass, and while I have to say my ear is not attuned to that kind of music, I can appreciate all those folks that enjoy that genre. So, commissioners, any questions?
Just, if you would tell the county employees that we said congratulations.
Certainly.
Job well done.
Certainly.
I'd like to make a comment. I had my first tour out there with Bruce and did an excellent job. A lot of people really compliment how clean the park was. You had people going around every 2 hours picking trash up every toe. They set their little trash bag out in front of them. They'd pick it up. And then I had an insurance agent to tell me this morning that he had a big motor home. Come big rain, and next thing you knew, rock was there and being leveled, and if it hadn't been for that, his motorhome probably still be there.
Probably still be
So, just a lot of good compliments, and as George and the judges said, just excellent job. I was really impressed, and I was impressed to see all the kids there and the family events, and that to me looked like a great thing of a family event.
Commissioner?
I'll just say, I didn't make it out there. My son went on Saturday, and he said that he met a fellow that had been there. He was from Las Vegas. He was surprised, we'd drawn somebody from Vegas, and he said it was his 4th year in a row to come. So when you speak of making an impression, when folks set their calendars to show up again next year, you're doing something right. So thank you to you and your staff and the museum for their effort as well.
And Ross, it is a learning experience. I mean, we have worked on this agreement over the years, refining it. We worked on security, and we finally decided, well, it's Daviess County's park. Daviess County will provide the security within the agreement. Of course, we get paid for that. A lot of folks think that Daviess County is paying for all of the things that go out there. We're reimbursed by ROMP. So it's they're paying their way. And everybody that I saw just had a really great time. Next year will not be like this year. I think we learned some things about our safety roads, how you exit, where you allow camping, where you don't allow camping, how you put some barriers or interfaces. Learned a great lesson last year, and this year ROMP paid for fencing to keep underage people out of a place that they shouldn't be, people without tickets. So I think it really worked well. We continue to review it. we analyze it and break it down at the end and plan for a bigger and better operation next year.
Would like to be able to thank the landfill as well, transfer station. We work with them in getting the trash in and out of the park with their roll-offs and stuff. Again, it's a countywide effort within our operations. A lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that has to take place, and it doesn't take but one phone call. to be
Just
able to
one
make that
question,
happen.
did they ever catch the guy in the hockey mask and the chainsaw that
Did.
came in that back gate?
They did.
Okay, I just wondered. Thank you, Ross.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, next item.
Comments by Daviess County Fiscal Court.
Commissioner Castlen.
Couple things, Judge. First of all, one of your favorite topics that you are always excited that I bring up.
E911.
Smart 911.
Oh, well,
but-
it's
but
E,
it-
smart, whatever. Go
But
ahead.
I just want to say to anybody that's watching at home, Smart 911, there are a lot of folks going to be getting together with it being Independence Day and picnics and all family get-togethers this weekend. I encourage you to maybe help family members introduce them to Smart 911 and help them take a few minutes to set up an account, because if you call, almost all of us, landlines are becoming a thing of the past, and with cell phones, if you call if you don't have Smart 911 set up, dispatch can tell you're in a certain area, but they can't tell you exactly where you are. And if you're calling from your home, or maybe there's a place on there where you can put your address, you can put maybe a secondary address where you frequently visit, maybe your grandparents or something. And so if you call from either of those and the cell tower shows that it's in a certain area and you've got one of those addresses, they can assume that's where you are and get the responder there faster. The other thing you can do is you can identify family members, you can identify health concerns that people have, to where if you call and you pass out, say, and maybe you've got asthma, they can send somebody and they know what they're kind of can expect what they're dealing with when they arrive. So anyway, that's my pitch on that. The other thing is we will have July 14. We'll have our next property maintenance review committee, property maintenance ordinance review committee meeting. That's open to the public. It is here. Last time there were quite a few people showed up to speak and share their thoughts and their concerns on both sides of the issue. And if you show up, you will be given an opportunity to speak. So, and that is at 6 p.m. here. And in the past, I've always been on Mondays. But this Monday is my 30-year wedding anniversary, and I really felt it was a good excuse to change the meeting date to the 14th.
And Lisa told you that you would change the meeting date.
She, yes, conveyed that.
That's more words than Commissioner Castlen has spoken during his comment in the 5 years he's been here. Commissioner Wathen?
I'm gonna pass.
Mr.
I know
Co-
you're gonna talk about something near and dear to my
I
heart,
am.
but I'll let you talk about it.
Okay. Commissioner Coker?
I'd just like to tell everybody to be careful with the fireworks this weekend. They are dangerous, and to have a safe weekend. And that's all I have to say.
Okay. First of all, I do want to send out the condolences of Daviess County Fiscal Court, all the staff members, to Commissioner Mike Riney's family. Mike was I've known Mike, I guess, since 1966 when I first met him at Western Kentucky Gas Company. He came in as a young purchasing agent, and I was working there going to college, and we became friends. I always like to describe Mike the way that Judge Reed Hare described him. He said, "Commissioner Riney, you're volatile." And Mike would always go, "Volatile, volatile? What do you mean I'm volatile?" So, but Mike was really a people person. He was always trying to take care of the not only the people in his district, but also the people of all Daviess County. He was forward looking. I know I served on the city commission when Mike served on the county commission, and oftentimes where the corporate limits of the city ended, the county bumped up against, and sometimes that was defined by a ditch or a wood line or something like that. On several occasions, I contacted Mike, and between Mike and myself, we were able to resolve those issues. So Mike is going to be missed not only by his family, but by this county as well, because he did an excellent job. I also want to take this opportunity to thank everyone that sent condolences about my brother Dennis and his passing last week. I hope you continue to remember us in your prayers. I want to congratulate my nephew, Daniel Castlen, who celebrated his 21st birthday. Daniel, if you're out there, we had a good time. The card that I gave him said, now you're 21 and you can do all the things that you weren't supposed to do, but we're doing anyway, and you can do them legally. I want to talk to, today we dedicated, as part of our bicentennial celebration, we dedicated a bronze sculpture of a man and woman sitting on a bench, looking over a set of plans. They had a lunch pail on one side and a toolbox on the other. And as I said out there, I like to think that they were contemplating their future and the future of Daviess County. It's a wonderful opportunity for you to take a look at a piece of visual art by a renowned sculptor. So if you get the opportunity, come down, and it sits on the 2nd Street side of the courthouse lawn. 4th of July will be another opportunity for us to celebrate our bicentennial. This year we are combining the county fireworks display along with the city fireworks display, so we're going to have a grand display down on the river near the convention center. We invite everyone down. I did get a few comments. Folks didn't like it. They like their own fireworks out in the county, because what are they going to do with all those people they invited to their house for a barbecue? Now they're not going to be able to sit in their backyard and watch it. It's for 1 year, folks. It will return next year, but we felt that you don't get to celebrate a 200th birthday very often, unlike Commissioner Lambert. I know he celebrated one last year. So there are lots of other things that I could tell you about. I think I'll leave them alone, or you will accuse me of turning. Oh, Free Silver Road open. Free Silver Road open. Folks, it's not finished. It is not finished. It's open, and I drove it. It's much better than it was, but Mr. Engineer, they've still got some tie-in work, some finish work, some striping, and another coat or finish on the asphalt.
Yeah, they still have to put the asphalt surface down, then they'll restripe again.
Right.
And
So
but
we felt we needed to get it open, and we did. So I just want everybody to know. But if you do have a complaint, Mark, what's your number? Never mind. I also want to take this opportunity to acknowledge some anniversaries. Stephen Klaus, solid waste heavy equipment operator, has been with the county for 20 years. Mary Moss, our own Miss Mary at front desk, she's an administrative assistant. She's been with us for 20 years. Carla Riney, engineering administrative assistant. Don't know how she's been there 20 years, Mark, the way she talks about you, but she has. I want to thank each and every one of these employees. It's unusual. It is unusual in this day and age when you have an employee that's been with you for 20 years. So that says something about the employee, but it also says something about the employer and the people in those departments. So if there are no other items to be brought before Daviess County Fiscal Court, without exception, we're adjourned.